Hi, so for discussion post 3, we were to show the pedagogical uses of primary sources for teaching the information literacy competencies. And to do that, I chose primary sources about the topic of the storm brewing in 1773 leading up to the American Revolution. So for this, I chose these 3 documents that were a variety. They showed different points of view of Americans leading up to the American Revolution. And so we have the tradesmen's protest against the proceedings of the merchants, the proceedings at a numerous meeting of the citizens of New York, and the Association of the Sons of Liberty of New York, which was the broadside advertising their point of view. So these could be used for lessons about tensions leading up to the American Revolution, and they provide perspective on the feelings of American colonists from all of the different social classes. And they really illustrate specifically the points of view of the Sons of Liberty, but also of others discontent with their treatment by the British. So here I have gone through the different information literacy competencies and broken down the pedagogical uses for these primary sources for each of the competencies. So for the first competency, where we need to teach critical reading and thinking, I would provide these documents to the students, and I would model the critical reading and thinking for them and asking them specific questions to kind of lead them to analyze the document. So for instance, I may ask them not only the date and the historical context of the document, but what argument was the document trying to make, and why did they publish this document, what was their motivation, and that sort of thing. The second information literacy competency was to write a persuasive analysis. And for this one, I would say that students could be assigned to write about a specific point of view and argue that one point of view in these documents was better than another, and to use those documents to support their arguments. Which really overlaps with the competency 3, which was integrating sources accurately. So for instance, for this, I might have an assignment where the students are required to argue that the Sons of Liberty were justified in their arguments against the Crown, and they would have to cite the documents to back up their claim. And that kind of also leads us to the competency 4, which was to determine the nature and extent of information needed. So for this one, what I might do is have students assigned to a specific claim, and they have to find support in the documents for that claim. For instance, the merchants in Massachusetts were upset is the claim. And you have to go through these documents and find out why, and write a essay or a little blurb about why the merchants are upset, and you have to draw out information from that specific primary document to illustrate why this claim is accurate. Competency 5 was collecting, retrieving, evaluating information appropriate to the discipline. So for this one, what I may do is students could be shown how to locate the primary documents. So I might walk them through the process of me finding these 3 primary documents, and then after I had modeled that, I would give them a topic and a specific database on which to search for primary documents in that topic, which actually leads us to Competency 6, which is access and use of information legally and ethically. And here I would show them, again, how to locate those sources, but also how to cite those sources using a valid citation system such as Chicago or MLA or APA. And I would also probably go over the concept of plagiarism and how there are different levels of plagiarism and how they're all wrong. For Competency 7, the effective use in groups or as individuals of information necessary to accomplish a specific purpose, what I may do is simply give students a list of claims and then some primary documents that they need to be able to match to the claims that those, say, cards or something were making, so that they could, use that specific document to support that specific claim. And here is my bibliography.